Hey, what's up everyone? This is Rob with Blame Rob Videos, and today I'll be playing Cardhunter. Cardhunter is a mix of a tabletop and collectible card game, kind of like if you think about Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. If you put them together, that's kind of what you get. It's still in the closed beta. It's a web-based game. It's played on Flash, I believe. The developers are still working on it, but I got an early access key, so I'll be playing the closed beta. This is going to be a pretty basic walkthrough. I want to walk through the entire game, each level, not as fast as possible. I want to walk through it without farming for levels, so without replaying the missions over and over again to get high levels and then crushing. This first part I think is the beginner tutorial, so we'll be going over that. And also I want to mention that my friend Roush is joining me here today. Hey, what's up, Roush?
Greetings, Rob.
So I'm actually streaming on Twitch right now, and he's watching, and we're just gonna kind of play the game. And I'm also showing Roush how to play because he's never seen it before, and he's new to the world of collectible card games and Magic. So in any case, let's get started. So this is the basic tutorial that opens up as soon as you start playing. They have like a dungeon master guy narrating. I'm just gonna click through this. If you guys want to read it, you can pause the video. In this first part, you get started with a couple of default characters. What level are these guys? I don't even know. So there's a lot of things going on the screen, and the tutorial kind of prompts you to see what a card does. You can right click to look at the details of the card. So these red ones are usually attack cards, and the number in the lower left is your damage, number in the lower right is going to be your range. It also tells you if it has additional other abilities, and if you just hover your mouse over it. I know the resolution's kind of small, so if you can't read it, this says burst 2 affects all characters with two of the target square. That's a typo, isn't it? Unless I'm dumb. Roush, is that right? Can you see it on your screen?
Yeah, I can.
Affects all characters with two of the target square. I should write this down because they want. Well, I'll have the video. I'll go over it. So we should report this as a typo because I don't know. Because like there are longer. Maybe they ran out of space.
It means within two squares.
Yeah, that's what it should mean. Anyway, that's a small issue. So your red cards are basically your attack cards, and sometimes they do things like attack multiple enemies and things like that. The blue cards are your movement cards, and as you see, as I hover over it, you can see the characters showing you where they can move. White is usually a utility card, and these grayed out ones are usually armor, and then these green ones are usually blocks. I can go over kind of more in detail what these cards do, but for now I'll just play through the tutorial. When you are ready, left click a card to play it. So it's really hard to lose early days or early levels since it's just the tutorial. I'm just gonna move my guy up because actually I'll shoot someone. What do I have here? Sorcerer's Bolt. So actually I've played this game already. I think I got up to like level 6 or 7, and I played through maybe 6 or 7 or 8 dungeons or levels. So I kind of know what's going on. I asked the devs to reset my account just so I could do this walkthrough. So that I'm not like overpowered when I go through the walkthrough. When you hover over a card, the board shows all the squares you can reach with that card. Yeah, that's true. So like if you hover over the red attack cards, it'll show you kind of where you can attack. And if you'll notice, I only got to play one card, and then it was the opponent's turn. So the way the turn system works is as soon as you play one card, it's going to be your opponent's turn, and then they can play one card, and then you can play one card, etc., etc. It goes back and forth. It's just like chess. And then eventually you're going to run out of cards, or your opponent will run out of cards, and that's why there's this pass button. And then when you both pass, you'll draw new cards. And usually I think, see where it's, I know you can't read it, but right down here it says draws 2, and then it's grayed out right now because the dungeon master's talking, but at the top it says like draw 3, draw 2, draw 2. So that tells you how many cards each of the opponents is drawing and how many cards each of your guys are drawing. I think you draw 2 attack or armor cards, and then you draw a third movement card, or everyone draws 1 movement card at least, so that way everyone can move. You can hover over card. So let's see. Now that these two guys are in range, I'm going to move my guy forward so he can use his chop ability. Swarming attack. Add 1 damage to this attack for every ally within 2 squares. All right. And blocks happen automatically, as does armor. Block has to happen. Block can only happen if you're blocking from the front. So if they flank you from behind, the block's not going to work. And then once the block is used, it's discarded. The armors usually have an ability called keep. So if you get hit and it reduces the damage, it will still be in your hand, or this character's hand. It won't get discarded like the shield card. Anyway, it's my turn. I have this ability called Chop. It hits 2 targets, does a lot of damage, so I'll be using that. Oh shit! I should have used... Oh, I could use this one! This one's so much better! Choose up to 2 different targets for this attack. Oh well. That's fine. And you'll notice that that guy was the AI was able to move 2 characters, and that's because characters of the same type, enemies of the same type sometimes share card pools. So you'll see this is a Lizardman Guardians. So when he used the move card, all of his Lizardman Guardians were able to move, as opposed to just 1. To look at the card I played, click the card's hyperlink name in the log at the top left. So all he's saying is if you click the log, you can see which cards they're using in case it goes too fast. And then you can scroll up and stuff, so you can see what happened. And it's my turn, so what do I want to do here? I'm going to save that for later. No one's damaged yet. Fireball, Arcane Spark, choose up to 3 different targets. Burst, Burning, Burst 2. So I think this, yep, this explodes on someone. Everyone's still pretty far apart. I'm just going to use this thing here. I'll just move up so that way I can hit a single target. Yep, he teleports, that's fine. Hover over card numbers and icons to find out what they mean. So that's just what we were talking about earlier. If you see bold underlined text, that's usually an ability, so you can just hover your mouse over it. Roush, can you, I know I asked this earlier, can you read what's on the screen on Twitch?
I actually can, yes.
Okay, that's good. Because before I didn't know, this is the other reason I wanted to redo the video. Before I didn't know you could full screen it, so I was recording in like 720p or something, but now it's full screen in high def. So let's see here. What am I doing? These guys are grouped. They're not gonna make it convenient for... Actually, I'll just stab this guy. That's fine. So then some attacks, like with spears and stuff, you can reach 2 squares. Armor in your hand reduces the damage automatically if you roll high enough. That's correct. And oh my gosh, this is great armor. It's been a while since I played the tutorial, and this armor compared to like the level 1 armor you get when you start, or even the level 2, 3, or 4 is like hecka good. So maybe I can kind of go over what this means. So armor 2 obviously reduced. This is the amount of damage that's going to be reduced. We already talked about keep. Keep means you get to keep the card after you use it. And then this dice icon down here indicates what roll you need on a 6-sided dice in order for the effect to trigger. So 1+ obviously means that you're always going to save 2. There are certain attacks that will make it harder to block or harder to save. So even though this triggers on a 1+, there are things that reduce the chance by like 2. So instead of being a 1+, it'll be a 3+. But that's later. I'll just play the tutorial for now. Oh, actually, I think that was one that... No, okay, forget it. Anyway, let's see here. So this guy's there. Sorcerer's Bolt. Choose up to 3 different targets for the stack. Each target must be within 3 squares of another. Hard to block 1. Oh, that's exactly what we're talking about. So hard to block means that it will reduce the die roll by 1. Let's see. Fireball. Man, this does so much damage. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So oh wait, why did it say... Oh no, range of 10. I think I read that wrong. Oh well, let me see. Yeah, range of 10, damage 4. But then it does it does burst 2, burning 2, and the duration of that is 1. So burning 2 means they'll take 2 points at the start of their turn, and then duration means it'll last for 1 turn. So this will do a total 6 damage. Oh hey, I can use the Sorcerer's Bolt. 3 different targets, each target must be... Let's try this now. Or actually, the last time I tried it in the tutorial, I didn't have line of sight to some targets, and it kind of messed up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move. I don't care if I get hit. Yep, I can dash. All right. Arcing Spark. This actually doesn't do a lot of damage. I'm really disappointed. I'm gonna target you and see. Oh, select 2. Okay, that's way better. Oh no, my stupid healer, or my stupid sorcerer. That's fine. Let's see here. 3 health, 5 out of 5. Can I? Oh, I can't even move this guy. Poor guy. Let's heal, I guess. Inspiration. Target character draws a card. May target self. Let's give it to the wizard. I think she usually has more attack spells. Teleport other. Move. Target 3. Teleport. You must be able to see the destination of the move. Oh, this is perfect. So I can go like this. And I'll teleport my dwarf. And he's going to move right here. And I get to use my chop that I've been saving. That's a really good card. Where is that? For some chops. Oh no. Did it go away already? I'm looking for the... Oh well, whatever. It's a good card. 10 damage is a lot. So now I'm out of cards. I can't do anything. So I'm just going to pass. And then the AI also passes. So we get to draw new cards and start a new round. So that's what it means whenever you see the duration 1 or burning 2 or whatever. Anytime it refers to duration, it's talking about duration for a round. Let's see here. Sweeping hack. Wow, that's really good. Strong dash. Wow. So I'm not really trying. It's really hard to lose in this tutorial. They give you overpowered cards, like this guy only has 4 hit points left. Oh, you get so many strong cards in the beginning. Is it making sense so far, Roush, how the game kind of works?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. It kind of reminds me of Advance Wars for Game Boy, if you've ever played that.
I remember seeing it, but I never played it. My friend played it, and he said it was pretty fun. It was like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, similar to that.
Let's see here. So after a battle, you go to the loot screen, and you open up the treasure chest, and there's usually like 1, 2, 3, 4 items inside. This is just the tutorial, so they give you, I don't know, I guess this legendary item. And then to kind of manage your inventory and stuff, you can just click and drag these items onto yourself. And what this actually does is, or excuse me, the way that these items work is, so you have your card pool here, and then each item gives you a set of cards to put into your deck, and then they'll replace whatever was in there before. So right now, this weapon slot, isn't being used, but you can see that the default, I guess, cards you get with an unarmed weapon slot are pretty bad. So look at this, like 4 damage, 1 range, 3 damage, 1 range, 2 damage, 1 range. But then if you switch it out with the gold leaf blade, whoops, why can I not right click on that? That seems like a bug. I gotta report that too. Because usually, oh no, oh, it's because it's like, he told you to equip it and then it's not gonna let you continue, and you just can't advance any further. Or you can't, you know how normally you can right click to see stuff? You can't do it now because it's prompting you to continue. But if you compare, like this does 4 damage and now you have something that does 10 and 5, 5, 5, 8, and this other unique ability. So it's a lot better to equip yourself usually with items and stuff. Oh, we can do it now. So if you want to see at a closer look kind of what it does, 10 damage, 2 targets, 5 damage, penetrating, 5 damage, penetrating, 5 damage, penetrating, all this good stuff. So that's how equipping works, and it's the same for all the other slots. Some of them are for armor. There's some stuff for movement, and then later on you get like class skills. So it says level 3 uncommon martial skill. So martial is for the warrior. And then you get racial skills too that you can put in here. So there's all kinds of stuff. I'm just gonna keep going. Oh no! As you lift your prize in celebration, a terrible rumbling shakes the temple. So the second part, you fight a boss. And the tutorial is gonna teach you how to break through armor. And Beware Green Fang's acidic breath. Da, da, da. Yep. Use your new cards to avoid his armor. So it gives you a bunch of cards that will penetrate through armor. So some cards will ignore armor completely, like this penetrating ability. Others will make it more difficult to block. We kind of talked about that already. Let's take a look here. It's my turn to play. What I did in the tutorial is I passed because he'll fly to me. And then from here, I think I can actually hit him. Yeah, so let's see. Powerful Spell 2, Sorcerer's Bolt 3, Penetrating. I'll use this one first. Armor 2. This armor always prevents all damage from acid, poison, electricity, or fire. Wow, that's really good. Keep. So... Oh, he didn't even roll. I guess because it's a tutorial, it just lets you have the damage. So let's see here. This guy... I'm going to save my moves because I already know this. There's like this acid breath thing that he can shoot out, and it goes on the tiles, and you need to move out of them in order to avoid the damage at the start of the next round. So I'm going to save my movement for that. So here it is. This is the acid jet. So it's linear. All affected squares become acid terrain. Stop. Anyone that moves over an affected terrain has to stop their movement. At the start of each round, occupant takes 3 acid damage and discards all armor cards. So this is really bad for me. Click anywhere to continue. So now that the acid is on the ground, I'm going to go ahead and move my chick. Each square can only have 1 terrain attachment at a time. That's fine. So I'll go ahead and move my guy. She has no more attack spells, so... Oh, but she does have Teleport Other, which might be helpful. It doesn't matter. I'll throw her... Can you even see? So what I'm doing right now is I'm checking line of sight. So if you hover your mouse over these guys, the green squares will indicate line of sight. And that's important later in the game because for enemies that have range attacks, you kind of want to strategically use your movement cards and in such a way that when they run out of movement or just however you play your cards, you want to move somewhere where they can't see you basically and shoot you. So for her, I think I can move her right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, no, I ran out of space, but I don't care. I'll just throw her behind this pillar. It's fine. So Acid Jet saves. That's fine. I'm going to walk. There's nowhere good to walk. And I guess I'll use this charge move to hit the dragon, and then I'll use my other walk move to move out, hopefully. So every set move must be in the same direction at the end of the move. If there is a character in the next square in the direction move, do 1 crushing damage to that character for every square moved. So I'm gonna move here and do 1 damage. Wow, that's a lot of damage. And then I want to get out of the acid tile, so I'm going to move my guy. Just 1 step over. And then if you're next to an enemy, you can only move 1 square if the next square is also next to the enemy. But if you run away, it doesn't reduce your movement. Now that I'm here, I can do my perforating strike. Ignores armor. Wow, he does so much damage. It's crazy. Greater heal. Heal 8 may target self. Wow, that's really good. Let's go and use that on you, buddy. Cleansing Burst. Discard terrain attachments in target square. That's pretty good. Inspiration. Draw a card. I'll give it to my dwarf. He has pretty good attacks. Oh, attack skill. Let's see here. Draw a card. Discard that card unless it's an attack card. Repeat until you have drawn 2 attack cards or drawn 6 cards. Let's see. So I'll go ahead and grab my attack cards, and I'm just going to spam these attacks since he's right next to me. And you'll notice that the dragon keeps passing because he's out of cards. So the way you want to play this game, especially at higher levels, is you want to be conscious of kind of how many cards the opponents have left. Because if they only have attack cards and they don't have movement cards, you can move your guys away from them and attack them with range. And vice versa, if they don't have too many attack cards and they have a lot of movement cards, you can plan your strategy accordingly. So it's there's a little bit of strategy in this game. Let's see here. Cleansing Burst. Discard I don't care. Oh, I can actually target it. That's great. So I'll move right there. And just pass. So this is almost over. He's only got 10 hit points left, and we're extremely healthy. So Oh, so what happened here is I have 2 armor cards, so they stack. So both of them will reduce damage. So this reduces 2 and this will reduce 2, as long as you make your saving throws. I'm just gonna chop him since he's right there. Wow, still taking a lot of damage. Strong bash, team shift. I guess I can move up to this guy. I don't care about the acid jet. I'll just hit him. Oh, there we go. Or not, so he's down to 2, but it shouldn't really matter. I will move my guy. Oh no, can I... So another trick to find out if you can target someone, because if I target my sorceress and I'm trying to line of sight someone, or trying to figure... Or excuse me. If I have my sorceress or my wizard and I'm trying to move to a square and I want to know if that square is in line of sight of the enemy, you have to hover your mouse over the enemy to figure out what they have line of sight to. Because you can't, obviously, if you hover your mouse over your chick, you're only going to get line of sight for her, or her current square, and then you can't like hover over the targeted move square. So you hover over the enemy square. So I'm just going to move somewhere around here, I think is fine. And she will fly. You only have 2 hit points left, so save and fail. So that should be it. Oh, and then these victory points at the top determine when you get a victory. I know we just cleared all the enemies off the board, but later in the game this will become more relevant because there's other ways to win a match instead of just killing everyone. So we'll get into that later. Oh, with a terrible roar, Green Fang crashes onto the temple floor. The Viridian Guardian's long reign of terror is ended. I don't want to read all this. So there's a little bit of story to this game. And so that's just the tutorial. You will start back at level 1. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the stream because I want to break up the video so that each level is one part. So that was a tutorial. I'll stop the video now when we start level 1. Roush, do you have any questions about the game so far?
Well, I think it looks very interesting. I like how it's kind of a combination of a board game and a card game and an RPG all in one. I like the idea of like being able to customize with your different armor and your card sets. It's very interesting to me. One thing I am curious about is what is like the game's model in terms of, is it free to play? Do you have to pay for cards?
Sure.
Or is that still being worked out?
So what I've seen so far is that they already said it's going to be free to play, but there is going to be microtransactions, or there are going to be microtransactions, but the developers are working really hard to make sure, or they're trying to make the game in such a way that buying stuff isn't going to give you like so much of an advantage. They're trying to make it, they're not trying to make it a pay-to-win game. And I can kind of see how that's true because when I was playing the game before my account got reset, it's highly dependent on what cards you put into your deck as opposed to are they just strong cards. And actually, how can I put this? It's dependent on your strategy, I guess, or I don't know. It's because you have a limited number of slots, and because a lot of the items and equipment and weapons are very similar, paying for new cards isn't going to necessarily make you auto win in a game. It actually is kind of dependent on your strategy and kind of how you build each of your characters and what characters you bring to the fight. As opposed to just all my cards are overpowered and I'm going to win because I paid for these cards. And you'll kind of see that as we go through. The in-game currency is gold at the top. I know the screen's grayed out, but if you use money to buy the real money currency, it's pizza slices. And then you can spend pizza slices to like open up random treasure boxes, which will give you rare items and stuff. So there is a little bit of pay to win, I guess. It's tough. I don't know how they're gonna do it, actually, now that I think about it. So I don't know, Roush. But even if you don't buy pizza slices, and even if you don't, I don't know, if you don't spend money to buy cards, it's still relatively fun. I think they intended it to be primarily a first-person or a single-player game, and then the multiplayer they're still trying to figure out because they realize that just like with any collectible card game, you need access to all the cards in order to have a fair chance against anybody else. So actually, I take back everything I said. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Yeah, that was just a long-winded way of saying I don't know. So with that, I'm gonna stop the stream for now, but I am gonna move to level 1. So if you're watching the playlist, feel free to hop to the next screen.